How's it going, guys? Rhino here, bringing you podcast number 8, I believe. I actually haven't checked. I've been gone on vacation for a little while. Got back and decided to get back into it. Let's get right into this video. This podcast is sponsored by All About Envy. He just hit 400 subscribers in a month. All About Envy is a great gaming channel. He does everything between trickshotting, feeding, and making montages on all sorts of games. If he gains over 20 subscribers from this podcast, he'll be doing a new giveaway. His link will be in the description below if you want to check out his awesome gaming channel. Do you want to sponsor a podcast? Make sure to add me on Skype. My Skype is ryan.pattee2, R-Y-A-N period P-A-T-T-E-E-2. Sorry, R-Y-A-N period P-A-T-T-E-E-2. That is my Skype. Add me so we can talk about a possible sponsorship. I'm also doing voiceovers, so go ahead and add my Skype as well if you want me to do a voiceover for you. I do intros, outros, or anything of the sort. Just let me know. We can talk about it and get things sorted out. The 3 topics today that we are talking about are sexual objectification, people who say we need feminism so we don't have to shave, and I don't need to have sex with a guy simply because he buys me a drink. These are all things that came up for a specific reason that I'm going to talk about here in a second. All three of these reasons are from the same issue. Well, I'm bringing them up because of the same thing, one issue. And basically, my cousin, my cousin's awesome. I don't have any problems with her at all. She's really cool and stuff. But she is a feminist, and she made a long post on Facebook about some issues with feminism. And I really felt the need to respond to it, but I'm not going to respond to it directly because I don't want anyone happening to stumble across this message and either her figuring out that I'm bashing what she's saying in this video or anyone bashing her because of this video. I don't want any of that. And so I'm not going to tear a lot of it apart. I'm just going to talk about 3 specific issues that I haven't really delved into a ton, but yes. So there were a lot of issues with the post that she made. It was a pretty long post. And these aren't even the most important things that she got wrong, but these are 3 things that I want to address. So the first one, sexual objectification. She talked about the fact that women are seen as sex objects, that we need feminism because women need to be seen as more than just a sex object. All right. I want to start off by saying that I haven't written anything down to talk about this because I want to freeball it. This is all just my opinion, uncensored. This is what my thoughts are on that. My personal thoughts are, well, number 1, sexual objectification happens to both genders, not just women. I know that's hard to comprehend, but sexual objectification is okay to an extent. Looking at saying all women are all women are simply objects for men to have, men or other women to have fun with, that is very bad. That is wrong. A very minuscule amount of the population actually believe that. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because she says it's systemic. This sexism is systemic based on how society treats women, how women are oppressed in society. Women are not oppressed because of sexual objectification. It happens to such a small minority of, a small minority of men and lesbian women sexually objectify women to that extent. For me to, for example, I'll give you an example in a second. For me to be driving down the road and I see an attractive woman in a bikini walking down the street, for me to look at her in a sexual way and be like, I usually don't do this, but for me to be like, oh, I definitely have, I'd hit that. I know that's really, really bad terminology, but basically be like, I'd have sex with her. That is sexual objectification. However, that's not harmful sexual objectification. I'm not saying she's nothing more than a sex object to me. I'm simply saying I think she's sexually attractive. I would have sex with her if I had the opportunity. I wouldn't rape her, obviously, but that's what I'm saying. That's not problematic. The human brain is trained to look at attractiveness, including sexual attractiveness, first about human beings. That is not sexually objectifying. That is simply, I mean, technically it is, but that's not bad. It's not harmful. That's just what we do. You can't, no, feminism would not be able to train that out of our behavior. And I see the opposite all the time. I used this example before. Last year I lived in a dorm that was right across the street from, well, two frat houses, but one of the frat houses that's considered the hot frat, or the hottest frat at our college campus. And a girl who lived on my floor tweeted out, I'm so thankful, well, something along the lines of, I'm so thankful to live across the street from hot frat guys that walk around shirtless. And it's the same thing. Women sexually objectify men. Men sexually objectify men, gay men or bisexual men do it too. And it just happens. It's not harmful. Saying that does no harm to those frat guys living across the street. If I'm driving down the street, me saying, oh, I want to have sex with that woman, does no harm to that woman whatsoever. There is no oppression taking place here whatsoever. None. Literally none. And it's just how humans work. Feminism will not be able to train society differently because it's just how we work. That's like training men not to get horny. It's not possible unless you give them like hormone therapy, which is, torture basically. And women are the same way. Women have sexual urges as well towards either men or women, depending upon their sexual orientation. And it leads them to want to have sex with someone and not always want a relationship. In college, I've heard of so many more girls in college saying they just want to have fun. They just want to have sex with guys. They don't want anything more than sex. Much more than I hear guys saying that about girls. Now, it happens both ways, obviously, but it's something that women do too. And it's funny because feminism only talks about, men sexually objectify women. Women are the only oppressed ones, sexually objectified oppression, which isn't the real thing. And that's all it talks about. But it goes both ways. And it's something that happens both ways. It's not harmful. It's completely pointless to talk about this issue. And worst of all, feminism will not and cannot fix this issue. On to the second issue. We need feminism so we don't have to shave. She posted in her article that if you don't want, we need feminism because if you don't want to shave, you don't have to. Well, guess what? You don't need feminism for that because guess what? If you don't want to shave, you don't have to. I see women, girls or women, every day who either shave their legs, sometimes shave their legs, or never shave their legs. Sometimes shave their armpits, or never shave their armpits. I can't say I see this, but there are women who shave their groin area, bikini line. That's the best way to say it. Shave their bikini line. Some who sometimes shave their bikini line, and some who don't shave their bikini area. I'm gonna go with that. It's personal preference. Society is preferred towards women who shave. I will admit that. Men sometimes are more sexually attracted to women who shave their legs, armpits, and bikini region. Not all men are like that. I hear women who like hair, and there are men who don't give a shit. And so there is no oppression going on here. It's simply a matter of preference. Similarly to what I hear is the majority of women, not all, but the majority of women like men with hairy chests. Well, guess what? I don't have a hairy chest, at least not yet. So it's just personal preference. I'm not oppressed because women prefer a hairy chest. And even then, I wouldn't even want a hairy chest, so I'd probably get it waxed or whatever. And so I'm not oppressed because there's this preference. There's a preference that women like men with more muscles. I'm not muscular. There's a preference that women don't like men who are super skinny. I'm super skinny. But I'm not oppressed because of this. That's just how society works. There are social preferences. And you can do whatever you want. You have the ultimate freedom. No one will sue you or be offended if you don't shave your legs, armpits, bikini region, or any part of your body. You are any woman, man, transgender, cisgender, whatever the fuck you are. Anybody, you don't need to shave if you don't want to. Just make sure you pay attention to who you're talking to. There will always be women who want to shave. There are women who just prefer to shave, not because of men. They just prefer the feel, and that's what they like to do. Those are the women who will automatically be more attractive. But you can still get a man if you don't shave. There is no oppression going on here. People may say, "Oh, I prefer you to shave." Well, so what? Fuck him. If you are dating a guy or interested in a guy, and he wants you to shave, and you don't want to shave, fuck him. Just get rid of him. Find someone who doesn't give a shit. I mean, it's okay if someone is like, "Hey, could you shave for me?" And you're like, "No," and they're like, "Okay, that's fine," to just simply ask. But God, you're not required by anyone to shave. No one has ever said that. And so feminism does nothing for this issue. You can't change societal preferences. There's this, I mean, I'm not going to delve into this topic, but there's this whole issue of, oh, we need feminism because of these sexually attractive women on TV who make men want that body, you know, like the big boob, very skinny waist, big ass, that type of figure, and men are only attracted to that, and we need to change that stereotype. Well, guess what? I'm not even attracted. Well, I mean, I guess I don't find that unattractive, but that's not my preferred body type. But sexual preference in terms of what type of body you're attracted to is not societal based. Otherwise, I would be into that. I am not into big boobs at all. I actually don't like big boobs. That's not what I'm into, and it's not based on society. Society never taught me to like smaller boobs. That's just how I am. And there are men who like big boobs, but just a bigger woman. There are men who like a smaller woman. It's just social preferences. It's based off of, sexual preferences. Sorry, it's based off of what sexual preferences you have. Sometimes determined by whatever factors go into play. It's not society. Society will not be able to change that. It's same thing here with shaving. Men prefer a shaved woman in general, not always. And so you don't need to shave, but you can if you want. If you want to be more attractive, if you want to make someone happier, you do. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there are things that I shave for my girlfriend because she prefers that. But I'm not oppressed because she wants me to. She wouldn't break up with me if I didn't, and I wouldn't break up with her if she didn't shave anything. If she shaves her legs and armpits all the time, it wouldn't bother me in the least. Well, it wouldn't bother me in the least if she stopped shaving. And this is not an oppression for either of us. It's just a preference that we each have that we do for the other person to make them happy. If you should always take care about what the other person wants. Another quick example is I'm very skinny, don't have very much muscle, and my girlfriend prefers a more muscular guy. So guess what? I've been working out to make her happy. That does not mean I'm oppressed. That just means I'm doing something for my girlfriend to make her happier. That's it. And it's just a general thing. I'd be more attractive in general if I had more muscles. There's no oppression going on here for either gender. The last topic. This was something she covered in like the last part of her little piece, and it was just that like if a guy buys you a drink, you don't need to have sex with him. Wow. Okay. This part I almost didn't know how to respond to. Like I just was speechless. My mom saw the article, and my mom knows that I'm an anti-feminist, and she was like, "Oh, I want to know what you have to say about this." And so I was like going through the article, saying what was wrong with each part that she said to my mom. And when I got to this part, I was just like, it's so dumb that I don't even know how to respond to it. I don't need to have sex with a man because he buys me a drink. No shit, Sherlock. If you had to have sex with a man because he bought you a drink, there'd be no virgins, for one. Every woman would have had sex with probably 50 plus guys, for two. And men would be poor as fuck, for three. But none of those things happen. You see, what it is a man will buy a woman a drink if he is attracted to her, and that's just common courtesy. That does not mean she has to do anything with him. However, a woman will decline that drink usually if she is not attracted to him. And usually she'll accept the drink if she is attracted to him, which does not mean she's going to sleep with him, does not mean she's obligated to do anything. Typically what this means is just that she's interested, she wants to drink so they can talk, figure out if they are interested in each other, if, she's interested in just a hookup, if he's interested in just a hookup, whatever it is. But there is no obligation whatsoever for a woman to sleep with a man just because he buys her a drink. That's not something that's known. And furthermore, it's not like there's a law or anything. Even if it was where a guy buys a woman a drink, which this isn't true, by the way. I'm just setting up a scenario. Let's say it was true, though. If a guy buys you a drink and you accept it, then you should sleep with him. If that's what society thinks, so fucking what? Fuck society. Honestly, fuck society. Why? If you don't want to sleep with this guy, just don't sleep with him. It's not like you're going to be sued. It's not like you're going to jail. It's not like your life is going to be ruined. All it's going to be is this one guy who was wanting to sleep with you won't get to sleep with you. He bought you a drink, so he's out, what, $5-10 most? That's it. I mean, I don't see, there is no oppression here. And this isn't some privileged white male just yammering about some random shit that he doesn't understand. This is something that I hear girls talk about too. There are a lot of girls who are sensible enough to be not necessarily anti-feminist, but not support the feminist movement. There are a decent amount of girls who are like that. I can't remember. There's this girl. She made some weird videos a while ago, and I'm not sure what all she's done, but basically she recently did a video talking about feminism. I can't remember if this was a while ago, so I can't remember if this was, well, not too long ago, but I watched this a little while ago, and I can't remember if this was about a specific topic or not. I think she was getting hate because of something she said or did in a video, because she came off as anti-feminist or something like that. And she basically goes into this video where she talks about how feminism is stupid, because basically it's all these women who want equality when they don't actually promote equality, which is one problem. They promote supremacy in some cases, or just work focusing on women's rights. The feminist movement never talks about where men are quote unquote oppressed, even though there isn't really any sexual oppression either way. But they don't talk about where men are disadvantaged. And she points that out, and so how that is counterproductive in this equal rights movement, supposedly. But then she also talks about how these issues that feminists have, like these three issues that I've talked about, as well as many others that feminists have, all it is it's personal problems. That's literally all it is. The girls that, don't want to shave, they don't want to shave, but they want to still be attractive. And so it's a personal problem. Well, guess what? There are women who love to shave and will do it and happily do it without complaining. So if you don't want to shave, just don't do it. It's a personal problem. Same with a lot of these other issues. It's just personal problems, not actual oppressions on women. And so it's just annoying to hear these arguments being made. And it's even worse. What bothers me the most is just how the comments were like, oh, this is so true. You go, girl. I mean, this is so true. We need to support the feminist movement, blah, blah, blah. It's these people who either don't understand what they're, listening to or reading, so they just take it on face value. They're like, oh my God, wow, women are so oppressed from watching that. Or it's, and they don't really understand that they're not really oppressed, or it's people who are actually like the hardcore radical feminists, where they don't care about true oppression. It's just they want supremacy. They have a problem with society as it is, and they want to change it so that it benefits them more and men less. Some even want to just get rid of all men, which I know is cannot be representative of the feminist movement. But anytime the radicals, and there's a decent amount of radicals in a movement that support killing an entire fucking gender, there's a problem with your movement. It was, and before you go on and hate about that, it was actually the scum movement, as well as many other movements about killing all men and shit like that, were relatively popular within feminism. You see, men don't joke about that. Anti-feminists and men don't joke about, oh, let's kill all women or let's enslave all women and make them our sex slaves. We don't joke about that. But women, some feminists sometimes joke about killing all men. Sometimes they're serious about killing all men, and it's fucked up. It's a fucked up movement, and it's for these reasons. You can't support. I can't support a movement that has to grasp at straws for so-called oppressions. I mean, I support back in 18 and 1900s, like the civil rights movement and the abolitionist movement. I would support those because that's a huge fucking oppression when you enslave people and then they're separate but equal. That is oppression. There is not oppression of you being at a bar and you're supposed to sleep with the guy who buys you a drink, even though you don't even have to fucking do that. There isn't oppression when you have hair on your leg and you don't want to shave it, but society prefers that you do. That's not oppression. If you think that's oppression, then you are a privileged female who doesn't understand what real feminism is. What real feminism is first and second wave feminism, where there was actual oppression and unequal rights, as well as all this shit going on in like the Middle East where women are treated as objects and shit like that. Feminism needs to go there. There is no sexism. Well, true systemic sexism does not exist in the Western world. The gender wage gap does not exist in the Western world. Rape culture does not exist in the Western world. None of this shit exists, and there's just no evidence for it. I can't support a movement like that.